So Post and Basile will be principal factors in this second meeting of the year between Earl Grant's Eagles, who are 11-13 and 5-8. They have won 3 of their last 5. Virginia Tech's won 3 of their last 4, all in this building. And Clarence Armstrong tonight on the whistle with A.J. Desai and Keith Kimball. The Eagles won 70-65 in overtime. It's one of 3 conference games in the first 99, Dan, that have gone to overtime, and right away, Devin McLaughlin on the board to start the night for Boston College.
Wes, and that was the screen and roll play that just really flummoxed Virginia Tech in that game in December, and it was McLaughlin. He scored this season high against Virginia Tech.
Sure did. 18 points and 7 rebounds on the way to the win. Here is Basile, and the soft jump hook puts the Hokies on the board.
You saw Basile was matched up against McLaughlin. McLaughlin is a little too small to handle him that close to the basket without help.
Zachary with Post. Here is Makai Ashton-Langford. DeMar Langford did not make the trip. He's still bothered by a knee. Right side 3 ball away, Aligbe. Young freshman from Minneapolis, and a whistle and a foul on Boston College, and it'll be on the 7-footer from Amsterdam in the Netherlands, Quinten Post.
And that's a big foul early in the game. And Wes, Boston College, they've improved their three-point shooting percentage recently, but they are not a very good three-point shooting team, and so I think that's a win if Virginia Tech can get the Eagles to shoot the 3 that early in the clock.
Couture. Dan, he is now 18 of his last 34 from behind the line.
Well, and he is a guy who can really shoot it, Wes. He's got that fast release. You just can't give him any room.
Hokies trying to help on the screen game out front. Aligbe, entry pass, and Post. He and Basile. Oh, a little double team from Collins. Zachary off the open look.
Wes, and again, you take a risk when you double team because they can. Post is a good passer, can kick it out for a 3, but again, BC is not a good three-point shooting team.
Basile has that one bound away for Prince Aligbe. And here is Zachary. This is a good, now there are some veteran pieces on the Boston College team. As you see Post score on a soft turnaround off the baseline. But boy, Earl Grant's got a lot of foundation laid in his first year at nearly 2 full, Dan.
Well, he really does, and he's got big, strong kids who really play hard.
Inside, there's Mutz.
Wow.
Sharp cut to the basket for Justin Mutz.
But how about that pass, Wes?
Yep. A little bit of a chess match here early, right?
Absolutely. Each team is trying to figure out how to handle the other one's screens.
Look at Post, little reroute over the top of Basile. Rattles out for M.J. Collins. Collins plays with a mask tonight. He's gotten banged in the chops at Miami and then knocked around in the nose last weekend. And Mutz inside, he'll draw a foul. And that'll be the second on BC. Earl Grant, 46-year-old native of North Charleston, South Carolina. Went to school in Milledgeville, Georgia at Georgia College. Great fun to talk to. Program builder, Dan, if he did. You know, he's kind of set the table in his tenure at College of Charleston. He won 140 games there. Foul was on McLaughlin, by the way, his first.
Wes, he does a great job relating to the players. He does a great job getting them to play hard. You know, we were talking to him this afternoon about the service component of Boston College and the Jesuit education, and he's all in support of that, and he seems to be a perfect fit for Boston College.
Yep.
And the Eagles are having some success.
Sure are, but they trail 5 here. Just better than 3 minutes gone, and Aligbe couldn't finish, and here's Padula. Boy, how terrific was he Saturday against the Cavaliers in the win here at the Castle. Basile trying to roll inside, turns on McLaughlin, scores.
McLaughlin can't guard him without help, Wes.
Nope. Early 7-point lead for Virginia Tech. 6-0 run by the home squad. McLaughlin Post left alone and rattles in the three. That's his 13th of the year. And he's got 5 of the 7.
Wes, he is an outstanding three-point shooter.
This nice pass from Mutz. Remember, Post playing with the foul. He did as good a job as you could hope for, but it's 6 early points for Justin Mutz.
Well, Mutz, I mean, he can be very effective down in there, and Post has to be careful.
Hokies have hit 5 of their first 6. BC just 3 of their first 7.
Man-to-man defense for each team.
Post set the screen. Ashton-Langford through all the way in the corner, and McLaughlin's triple rings. 5th three-pointer of the year for Devin McLaughlin. I see you looking at the chart to check how many.
I'm looking here. But, you know, interestingly enough, Wes, before that shot, he was 1 for 2 in ACC play.
Yeah.
So he's not a high-volume guy, but you've given some room, and he can obviously knock it down.
5 for 7 now in three-point shots is Devin McLaughlin. Sophomore from Cumming, Georgia. There's Mutz, a long-range shot. Aligbe the rebound. There's the double team off the screen. Look at Post. Nicely done. Comes to a jump stop and a bounce pass that got blocked inside. Basile rejecting McLaughlin.
What a great job by Hunter Couture to make Post stop.
Collins, back rim miss, and the rebound for Post.
Boston College just doesn't go away, Wes. They're a gritty bunch, as we said. They'll try to work the ball inside.
And Basile is going to commit the foul on the bounce pass and shot by Post. Earl Grant's going to get some free throws when we come back. Early three-point lead for the Hokies. From Boston College, won 70-65 in overtime. Dan, there's some glaring things in here. Number one, Virginia Tech struggled that night shooting threes. And Boston College got 15 points off 15 Virginia Tech turnovers.
At the time, Virginia Tech was averaging fewer than 9 turnovers a game. But you see there, Boston College scored 15 points off turnovers. They scored 13 second chance points. And Wes, both of those are huge in an overtime game, particularly when Virginia Tech shot the ball so poorly from 3.
Earl Grant's team had only 9 turnovers that night. Here's Post at the line. He's a 94% free throw shooter. And that's just his 3rd miss of the year. He's now 32 of 35 at the line, and if you want, that's on me.
That is not on you. Just stop that.
Missed them both.
Now that may be on you.
Okay. 3-point lead for Virginia Tech.
Wes, the one thing that we've seen so far is a lack of turnovers.
Mutz trying to square up and get into the lane, and McLaughlin's going to get called here. That's his 2nd.
Well, Mutz is such a tough matchup, Wes. I mean, we saw Mutz take the Syracuse zone apart when we were here with his passing.
Sure did.
And Mutz took Virginia apart over the weekend with his passing.
So Post and McLaughlin are out. Bickerstaff has checked into the ballgame, as has C.J. Pena, who plays for the first time in 3 games. Dan?
Yeah, and he was a guy that was getting a lot of minutes early.
There's a pass stolen, and we're going to get an offensive foul against Couture. Off the ball from A.J. Desai, who tickets Virginia Tech with their 2nd foul, and the first on the senior from Orlando. First turnover of the ball game belongs to Virginia Tech.
And for Virginia Tech, you don't want to give the ball away, but if you do, you don't want Boston College to get out and get easy baskets.
That's it. Here's Pena. He'll fire from deep. Off the back of the rim. Recovered Ashton-Langford. Kick out. That's Madsen. Line drive 3. Hit the front of the rim. Mason Madsen is a transfer from Cincinnati out of Rochester, Minnesota.
And he has shot the 3 much better in the last couple of games.
Fall away by Mutz.
That fall away is a tough shot, Wes.
That carried LeBron James to the NBA career mark last night, by the way.
But we're talking about LeBron James.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are tough for everybody else that aren't very tough for him.
That's right. Here's Zachary. working against Padula. Hokies seem to be handling the screens okay early, Dan, except for that one play. Here's Madsen on the drive. Can't finish. Lynn Kidd off Mike Young's bench in to replace Basile, and then the ball almost got turned over on the outlet pass, and we saw Zachary and Padula crash here. And we get a chance to tell you that coming up tomorrow night, Thursday night, women's basketball, you know what that means, right? Doubleheader. Lance White takes Pittsburgh to South Bend to see number 10 Notre Dame. That starts our coverage at 6 o'clock. And then, boy, tough Monday night for Westmore and NC State. Now they're headed to the Joel Coliseum to see Wake Forest at 8 o'clock. Coverage right here on ACC Network, presented by Ally, and also streaming live on the ESPN app. So Zachary's going to come out of the ball game.
I think he banged his shin or his knee. And both he and Padula are pretty big guys, pretty bulky guys.
So
that was some collision.
Chaz Kelly's going to check in, the 6'5" freshman from Houston. He wears 00 for Earl Grant. And here is John Camden, whose minutes have gone up since the departure of Darius Maddox from the Hokie roster to tend to some family business. Here's Couture, another 3. And the rebound tucked away by Bickerstaff.
Couture does such a great job getting open, Wes. But Boston College, they're chasing him.
Yep. Pena. Here's Madsen. Now for Kelly. Kelly will wheel through, and look out. What happened here? We got a bump and a foul. Sean Padula will be tagged with his first.
Kelly is a guy who's pretty quick with the basketball.
Checking back in for Virginia Tech, number 2.
Boy, Chaz Kelly is a guy who's gotten double-figure minutes in each of the last 3 games. So young guys who you can count on for that kind of investment in the ball game coming on for Earl Grant. Madsen, triple from the corner, spins out.
Again, Wes, I think if the more three-point shots Boston College takes, I think it's a big advantage for Virginia Tech because BC just doesn't make a lot of them.
This game is scoreless in the last 4 minutes. Padula now on a bounce to Mutz. Inside against Bickerstaff. It fell off the front of the rim. Here's Pena. Back for Kelly. Quick look inside. Bickerstaff catching bucket. TJ Bickerstaff, senior transfer from Drexel.
And Wes, what happened is Mutz stayed down at this end. It was a while before he got up, and Boston College took advantage.
Yep.
Bickerstaff was the guy Mutz is supposed to guard, and he wasn't there to guard him.
Hokies have missed their last 5 shots on the floor after a hot start. Only lead by a point. Here's Padula. Shaking on Madsen into traffic. Can't finish. Lynn Kidd taps it home for the home team.
That's a tough shot, and what Padula did by missing that shot, Wes, is he drew 4 defenders to him, so there was nobody to block out Kidd.
Virginia Tech to a 3-point lead. Backdoor cut. Madsen got the roll. First points for Mason Madsen, who played 22 minutes on Saturday night in the home loss to Syracuse.
That was a perfect read by Madsen. Camden's trying to deny him, and he just went back door. Old school basketball play.
Yeah, sure is. Mutz for Camden out of the corner, a 3. 5th 3 of the year for John Camden.
And the Hokies really like his three-point shooting ability. They think his numbers will go way up as he gets more time.
Yeah, averaging 19 minutes in the last 3 games. Here's a catch, and Bickerstaff will get the basket. Second field goal for Bickerstaff. Free throw for the Eagles and a chance to draw within 3 when we come back. We're going to check Joey brackets, too, in the ACC next on the 8 and above line.
Clemson, North Carolina still hanging on. You see Virginia Tech, despite that 7-game losing streak and their 4-8 record in the conference, their net ranking is good at 50. They have 3 quad 1 wins. And you see Joey Brackets has them at 80th overall. And of course that gives you an example how far they have to go according to Joe, because there's only 68 teams get invited.
Yeah. Here is Bickerstaff after the foul going to break to try and complete the 3-point play, and he does. So it is now a 13-5 run by Boston College.
Wes, and one of the things you hear people say is this is a game Virginia Tech cannot afford to lose. And based on the metrics, the net, that is a true statement, but it's a little bit unfair to Virginia Tech and to the league for that matter, because Boston College earned their net, which is what everybody's talking about when you can't afford to lose the game, in November and December when Post wasn't playing.
Right.
So this is an entirely different Boston College team now.
Fourth foul on BC, the first on the Minneapolis freshman of League Bay. And I would offer you this. Earl Grant, I thought very candid with us. He had to make a decision on Quinten Post going into the season. The injury elements, if we gave him the rest, would he be ready in January? So he took that risk. He bit the bullet, if you will. And Dan, Quinten Post comes into this game tonight. He's 11th in the league in scoring and 12th in rebounding, and he is a factor.
A big factor.
So to be clear, the net, they don't have any conscience of BC with or without Quinten Post when it comes to the data point. Leaping catch of the ball and a strong take, but League Bay couldn't finish.
Boy, that was an odd-looking play. It was like even after he caught the ball, Virginia Tech didn't know where he was.
13 to shoot off the reset. Ashton-Langford's had a hard time getting a shot. Post is not, and he just drew Makai Poteet's first foul. 5th team foul on Virginia Tech. Pretty good entry pass here, by the way.
Boston College has done a nice job getting the ball inside, and Poteet didn't get off that screen very quickly. Basile was there, thought Poteet was going to get there in time, and so he left Post, and here he's missed 3 free throws in a row. That's more free throws that he's missed in succession than he missed all year coming in.
Right. Second one, knocked that one down.
Well,
Six for Post.
Keep in mind, Wes, that Boston College is a team that in conference play scores 60% of their points from 2.
Yeah, they are 15th in the league in threes per game at 5.2. They have 1-2 tonight, McLaughlin and Post. Couture, meanwhile, had that just glance the rim and then post a rebound.
Wes, and that's why Boston College would like to play one of these tight grinder, low-scoring kind of games, because if you're only making 5 3-point baskets a game, it's hard to score a lot of points.
Kelly back up top. Post couldn't hang on. There is Poteet with the takeaway.
Much better job by Poteet that time.
Couture. And Pena runs that down.
Wes, those are the kind of shots that Couture usually makes.
At least when we saw him last. Inside, Post, the catch. Dunk rattled out. Post comes back and gets it and scores it again. How about that? You don't see that happen. The dunk rattled out. The guy got it, and he laid it right back in. 8 for Quinten Post.
Wes,
and Boston College, who trailed 11-4 at the start of the game, has got it tied at 20. Basile. And the rebound for a League Bay.
Well, Wes, and Virginia Tech shooting the 3 very poorly. They have had some success inside. They're going to need to go back to that.
Poteet trying to be physical on the catch of Post. Now League Bay. Here's Kelly. He clutched against Collins, now fires, and BC's in front. 9th 3 of the year by Chaz Kelly gives the Eagles the lead.
Wes, that's only his 3rd 3 in ACC play. He comes in shooting 12% against the league.
BC with the lead. First since it was 2-0.
Boston College is in a zone.
6-0 run by the Eagles the last couple minutes, and Poteet sailed that one off the floor. So Chaz Kelly III, Dan, has put BC in front.
Well, Earl Grant said that he was a really good point guard. And again,
Coliseum, and Dan, what always looks innocent can sometimes be totally different. Jaden Zachary is done for the night with a leg injury, so he will not return for the Eagles. And that's a tough one for Earl Grant's squad. This guy's been a big cog in what they're doing here in the month of February and certainly in January as well.
And you can see that ice pack on his right shin. No, Wes, he in ACC play, he's their assist leader. He's number 2 in steals. You know, he's 6'2", 215 pounds. He's a tough, physical guy.
Kelly tees up another three. Wow, Chaz Kelly has buried a couple threes here in the last 3 possessions.
Wes, we've been talking about how, Boston College isn't a really good three-point shooting team, but they're shooting the three better than Virginia Tech tonight.
Largest lead of the ball game here for the Eagles, who trailed 11-4 to start. And now in front 6 and Mutz.
Well, this is where they've had success, Wes.
Post trying to defend and one, and it'll be a bigger than that because it's number 2. Oh no, they're going to call a league bay for the reach. I thought for a moment Post was going to get tagged with his second. And instead it's on Prince Aligbe. It'll be his second. It's 5 on BC. Mutz has got his 3rd field goal, has 8 and now a chance at 9.
Boy, it gives you some idea of the strength and balance of Justin Mutz. He can't convert, but the Hokies have had success down on the low post. Let's see if they keep going back to that.
Just the 3rd field goal of the last 12 for Virginia Tech. Free throw keeps it a 4-point play after the miss. Basile. There's a double team with Collins. Aligbe in traffic, too strong.
That's really good defense. And Padula, he sprinted in front of one of the BC players outside, almost had a steal.
3-pointer off for Padula. Hokies are 2 of 10 from 3.
Wes, remember we showed you in the first half of that first game, they were 1 for 10.
And a whistle off the ball. And Justin Mutz, I think. It's on Justin Mutz. And a quick look at Earl Grant's home and road woes. And look, I'm being kind here. They're 1-6 on the road, 1-5 in ACC road games, Dan. The differential at the bottom, 10 points nearly in scoring. That's 1. Field goal percentage? Field goal attempts, rather. Just a skosh different, if you will. But it's real, the struggle, how the road has reacted to this BC team. Leaping catch, Bickerstaff, 8 to shoot. Backdoor, here's Madsen. What a catch of that. Try to get it back to Bickerstaff. Madsen saves it to him. Got to put it up, and instead it's a shot clock violation on the Eagles.
That's a tough break for Boston College because Bickerstaff is not one of their better offensive guys, and so you would prefer that he not have the ball at the end of the shot clock, but really good defense by the Hokies.
Yeah. The possession kind of pivoted on the double team and the quick pass out of it. And the Eagles didn't have any answer for the coverage Virginia Tech had. Here's Basile now. It's a 4-point game, and the Hokies have hit just 2 threes in their first 10 shots from behind that line. And Couture trying to reset that, cannot. Madsen tried to box out Basile, couldn't control the rebound, but kept it alive.
Well, Wes, and another problem for the Hokies, Padula hadn't scored today.
Here's Post. Skips for Madsen. 3 ball. Good. Mason Madsen. He's got 5.
Wes, that was some pass out of the double team by Post.
13 bench points for Boston College, who's hit 5 of 10 threes in the first half. Padula on the drive. Rebounded inside. Here are the Eagles leading by 7. Ashton-Langford through traffic. Post a long 3. Whoa, my goodness. Timeout for Mike Young. My goodness, Boston College.
Out of the double team by Post, then another great pass out of a double team by Post, and then Post caps it off by making a deep, deep 3. Wes, they already have 6 threes in the game, and you mentioned before, they only averaged 5.
They had 11 in 35 tries on Saturday night against Syracuse. Now, some may say the conversion to attempt ratio is a little skewed, but boy, they have sent a message here in the first, 15 minutes of play, and Virginia Tech got a well-needed bucket from Basile. on a great pass from Collins.
Well, that's a really nice set play. And again, that's where the Hokies have had some success.
Here's Ashton-Langford. He is scoreless in this first half.
How about that? They're ahead by 8, and Langford hadn't scored.
And another catch and score by Quinten Post. He's got 13 now in this first half.
If Ashton-Langford is going to make a pass like that, Wes, it cannot be defended. He caught that, kept the ball high, and just laid it in the basket.
He seems to have a really solid fundamental game. 3-ball Padula. And Post out battles Basile for the rebound.
Well, and you have to take that shot if you're Padula. That was good ball movement. You get a wide open 3, you'll take that from Padula every time.
Padula's missed all 4 of his field goal tries. Meanwhile, Post knocks down his 3rd 3 of the half. He's got 16 in this first half. The lead, its largest of this opening frame, 37-24 for the Eagles.
Well, Boston College has been shooting the 3 better percentage-wise, and there's just a careless turnover. But if you're scouting Boston College, you think, okay, we can get them, make them shoot 3s, but Post just catches that ball, West bounces right back up, and now here again, he doesn't have much room, but that's enough room to make that 3. Boston College comes in shooting 30% from beyond the arc in ACC play, so you figure if you're going to give something up, give up the 3. Well, not tonight.
Madsen. Now Lynn Kidd in to defend Post. Ashton-Langford, nice cut. There goes Bickerstaff. He had it blocked. No whistle for the foul. Padula trying to create the transition chance.
That was a good play by Mutz. He went straight up.
Lynn Kidd with Post now. Back for Padula. Nope. And the rebound for Ashton-Langford. Sean Padula a little frustrated.
Well, Weston, that's one thing that the Hokies can't do. When the ball's not going in the basket, you don't want to let it affect the rest of your game. And their defense has been a little off kilter since they started missing shots.
Here's Bickerstaff. Now Kelly's 2 3s seem to kind of get the Eagles ignited here from behind the line. Ashton-Langford pushes one up. That's their first miss in their last 6 tries from behind the line. So the lead stays at 13 inside 2 minutes to go first half.
And Ashton-Langford's actually one of their better 3-point shooters, almost 35% in conference play.
Mutz waiting on something. He'll flip it foul line. Kidd. Nope. And Bickerstaff pulls away the rebound.
That shot was really flat. Kidd is much better around the basket. I think that's a win for BC if you get him shooting jump shots.
Ashton-Langford kind of bobbing and weaving with the rock on the drive. Look at this skip out, and Kelly rimmed out on the 3. Bickerstaff tried to keep it alive. He will draw the Virginia Tech foul.
Well, even though he missed the shot, Kelly is going over and telling Ashton-Langford what a great pass that was.
Yep.
I mean, there was nobody within 8 feet of Kelly.
Yep.
Ashton-Langford, there's all 5 Hokies. You can see him in the picture. And the white shirt finally comes out to Kelly. He misses it. But with everybody trying to react to that pass, Wes, nobody blocks out Bickerstaff.
Yep, TJ Bickerstaff, by the way, 71%. Boston College is 78.4 against the ACC, and that missed badly. So with 1:10 to go, it's a 13-point lead for the Eagles.
And back to the zone goes Boston College. Boy, Must is asking for the ball.
Tried to go inside the Kidd, blocked by Post, and then Quinten Post just picked up his 2nd foul, trying to challenge Justin Mutz on the drive. The 2nd on Post is 6 now on BC.
Well, that was a real break for the Hokies because Mutz tried to throw that ball through Post, and it hit him in the hands and bounced right back to Mutz.
Here is Justin Mutz for a pair of free throws. He is #1 in the ACC in conference play in field goal percentage, entering tonight at 57.6. He has had some terrific games, and the first free throw bounds away. And I got to tell you, the 24-year-old youngster here from Millville, New Jersey. Well, I can't say youngster at 24, can I?
Well, that's younger than you.
Well,
me.
Fair point. He has maximized the college experience. You know about High Point and Delaware and obviously Virginia Tech. I mean, he's got a bucket of degrees, Dan.
Yes, he
does. To go with it. And good for him. He is a pleasure to talk to, and he's a terrific basketball player. 3-ball Pena, front rim miss, Couture the rebound. And Collins took a shot up around that nose where that mask is trying to protect, but even when you get inadvertently contacted, it could be trouble. Here's Kidd inside. He'll catch and dunk it home. Lynn Kidd's been pretty good as of late. 79% from the floor in the last 8 games coming into tonight. It's a 10-point game, and BC will take the final shot here.
Well, they will, but those last couple of baskets, I think, were big for Virginia Tech. Got the crowd back in this one.
Ashton-Langford, nice pass inside. Bickerstaff follows it twice, and he will have 7 to finish the half, and Earl Grant's team is going to take a 12-point lead to the locker room, Dan.
Well, Wes, we talked about how in that early game, Boston College applied great defensive pressure and just wore Virginia Tech out. With their Hokies have had most of their success. They've got 16 points in the lane. Mutz and Basile have been effective down there because the three-point ball just hasn't been there for Virginia Tech so far tonight.
If you're Mike Young, what'd you talk to your team about at halftime here?
Well, I think, they were talking defensively. They have to get the defense straightened out. Too many easy shots for Boston College, and you got to move the ball a little bit better on offense.
And Couture, a hard bounce pass that Mutz can't handle. So the Hokies commit turnover number 4 to start the second half.
And they were trying to do the right thing, Wes. The ball skipped off Mutz's hand, but they're trying to go inside.
Malik Bay starts the second half with McLaughlin. Here's Kelly. He's in for the injured Jaden Zachary, and Chaz Kelly tosses in a 3.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. And Wes, you said Jaden Zachary, one of the best players for BC, is out with that leg injury.
Well, and Kelly's just matched his conference average. He's got 3 threes for 9 points. Zachary averaged almost 10. There is Basile knocking down his first 3 of the night. He's got 11. Still a 12-point game. McLaughlin had it taken away by Mutz. Strong play by the veteran Hokie player. Couture.
There's a mismatch inside.
Yep, there it is. Basile rolling on Ashton-Langford, and he will draw a Clarence Armstrong whistle.
That's before the shot.
Yep, and it's on Makai Ashton-Langford.
Now, he grabbed him pretty good down there, but when you're Makai Ashton-Langford and you're battling against a 7-foot guy and you're 6'3", that's what you have to do.
He's the grad transfer from Providence, from Worcester. His younger brother, DeMar, not with the team. Trying to get through a knee injury. Here is Mutz wheeling into the lane, and he threw another one too hot for Couture to handle.
But it's
and Desai said it tapped. It was deflected by an Eagle on the way out of bounds, so it will stay with the Hokies with 11 to shoot.
I think Mutz has to take that one up against Post. Post has to be a little careful.
Here's Mutz. A reroute for Couture on the pass. Hunter dropped it. Justin finally on the second try gets to double figures now with 11.
That's a good job by Couture to take the ball into the lane. Don't settle for that three-point shot.
4 straight double-figure games for Mutz. Hokies to a 10-point spot. Ashton-Langford's spot-up jumper rattles in. First points of the night for Makai Ashton-Langford. Here's Padula and the Hokies right back at BC. Basile on the drive. They're definitely trying to get Post the third. And Grant Basile's got 5 of Virginia Tech's 7 here in the second half.
Well, Wes, particularly early, Post has to be careful.
Ashton-Langford, a long 3. He's got 5 in a row for Earl Grant's team.
Wes, and the problem for Virginia Tech is they can't string together stops.
And we're going to get a whistle and a foul off the ball And it's on Ashton-Langford. He and Couture jockeying. Second on the Eagles, and the second on Ashton-Langford, who's litigating with Clarence Armstrong. Padula for Collins.
And Makai Ashton-Langford is really all over Hunter Couture.
And there's a three from Padula.
Just nothing doing for Padula tonight.
Nope. So far, it's been a tough night at the yard, as they say.
Padula's 0 for 6 overall, 0 for 4 from beyond the arc.
Here's a steal by Basile. Ashton-Langford went for the pick, and Basile went big man fast break. 7 of Virginia Tech's 9 to Grant Basile. He's trying to bring him back by himself.
Doing a pretty good job at the moment.
Ashton-Langford right back. McLaughlin easy dunk. 7 for Devin McLaughlin.
Wes, there's that screen again that has really hurt Virginia Tech in both of their last 2 matchups. Langford just made a couple of baskets, and so you have 2 guys go with him, and nobody covers McLaughlin.
Ashton-Langford almost stole it up here in front of our courtside location, but it went out of bounds off Makai, so it'll stay with the Hokies. Mutz. And now here is Collins. Boy, the young freshman's been quiet tonight, hasn't he? 3-ball Couture. 6 for Couture. He had an early triple to start the game, and now 1 here about 3 minutes and change into half 2. Hokies are now 5 of 7 from the floor here in the second half. BC lead to 10 again. Here's Post. He thought he got fouled, didn't chase it. 7 to shoot. Ashton-Langford trying to take Basile down. Aligbe routing around Collins. He'll fire with the clock winding down as an air ball. And here's Virginia Tech. Mutz strong into traffic. Back for Couture.
Wes, and the other thing that you're seeing here is on those 3-point shots, the Hokies go falling back to prevent transition. So Virginia Tech has done very little on the offensive boards tonight. It's been one and done.
McLaughlin with Post. Quick pass inside. Here's McLaughlin working around. He'll score against Justin Mutz. Boy, Devin McLaughlin now with 9.
And McLaughlin had a big game the last time, Wes. He had 18.
Yeah. Boston College has won the last 4 games in the series. Mike Young's beaten everybody in this league seemingly except these guys since becoming the Hokie head coach. Down low, Basile backing in on McLaughlin. Nice turn with the left hand.
Everything but putting it in the basket, Wes.
Dan, in some ways it feels like BC's been able to control the tempo of the game.
No question, Wes.
Kelly, here's McLaughlin sliding through. Strong take and a block on Basile. So a free throw coming for Devin McLaughlin. 51-39.
The court is for Boston College. They've got 5 guys basically beyond the 3-point arc. There's no help for the Virginia Tech defense. And look at this. There's nobody beneath the free throw line except for BC guys. So it's 1-on-1. And McLaughlin, who had 18 points the last time, Wes, is having another really strong game.
And a free throw coming for the Eagles on the foul against Basile for the block that we showed you in the final sequence there.
Wes, Boston College is doing a great job spreading Virginia Tech out, moving the ball, and then attacking after they've moved the defense.
Yep.
And Boston College, they're scoring a lot of points today, but this is not a team that plays an up-tempo style, and so Virginia Tech isn't really a run-up-and-down team either, and I think the tempo that Virginia Tech likes to play suits Boston College.
BC averages 67 points in league play. That's 13th. They are at 54, and we're about 6 minutes into the second half. Couture, a little skip and a drive, and then had it blocked.
Again, Boston College doing a great job defensively. Now nobody's guarding Kelly.
And he misses on the three. Camden tried to run it down, and it was deflected. And last touch, McLaughlin, who was stepping out of bounds, said Keith Kimball, so it will belong to Virginia Tech here.
Wes, and right at the moment, what we're starting to see from the Hokies is they're starting to look at the referees every time. And if Boston College is being physical, you just have to adapt to that. And this is a very physical, tough BC team.
Out of the corner, Padula. On target, Sean Padula. First bucket of the night of any kind for the sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma.
Wes, there's still plenty of time left in the game for the Hokies, but they have to start getting some stops on a consistent basis.
Post took his eye off the pass, tried to go back and recover it, and then diving for the loose ball, commits his third foul. 7 minutes into the second half, Post gives it back to the Hokies. Quick reminder for you, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern, after our women's basketball doubleheader, Nothing But Net. Kelsey Riggs, Lexi Brown, Kelly Gramlich, and the Hall of Famer, Muffet McGraw, break down the night in women's basketball and preview a busy weekend. Analysis and more right here on ACC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app.
Wes, and interestingly enough, turnovers have simply not been much of a factor in this game. That's only the 5th turnover by Boston College.
Post comes out of the ball game. Bickerstaff and Madsen have come back in for the first time here in the second half, but certainly big contributors in the opening 20 minutes for Earl Grant's team, who still leads by 12. Here is Basile on the drive, and Bickerstaff reaches in. That'll be the first on Bickerstaff, the 4th on BC. And Basile going to work his way to free throws out of this.
Well, I think he was taking it up, Wes. But I'm telling you what, if you're going to drive into the lane against this Boston College team, you better be prepared.
Yep.
And Basile was. He did a great job hanging on to that one.
Basile first missed at the line in 3 tries tonight. He's had 20 or more in just 3 games against the ACC. You see, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Terrific player at Wright State. Started 56 of his 95 games there.
Boy, Wes, those are big misses right there.
Sure are. 2-shot chance goes by the board. Kelly on the drive, and he will get free throws. And the foul is on Padula. His second on Virginia Tech.
Well, here again, Padula comes off the screen and just can't catch up. Kelly's quickness, and Padula didn't get picked off by the screen, Wes, but he had to try to avoid it, and that got him behind the 8 ball with Kelly.
Free throw rims out for Kelly. Now remember, here in Blacksburg, Dan, bacon on the table. Nope. Kelly broke their hearts.
Now in the second half, guy with 2 free throws misses them both. They get bacon.
10 for Chaz Kelly. It is his first double-figure game in the ACC and his 2nd of the year. Basile a 3 and a foul on Bickerstaff. And 3 free throws coming for Basile on the 5th team foul against Boston College.
It's a really nice job by Couture. He comes off the screen, can't get stopped in time, but finds Basile open. And Wes, you have to give a guy the opportunity to come down.
Virginia Tech 5 out of 9 tonight. And Basile's 3rd free throw. He has 8 in the half, 16 in the game.
This Boston College defense is making Couture and Padula work so hard to just get the ball. It's hard for those guys to get set for those shots.
Yep. And trying to cut it to 10. Here is Basile.
Well, Wes, it gets down to 10 again, and Virginia Tech has actually played pretty well offensively in the second half. But, the closest they've been able to get is 10.
Pena has reported back for Boston College. And now Basile's out. Mutz comes in with Kidd, John Camden, Couture, and Padula. BC's got Kelly, Makai Ashton-Langford, Devin McLaughlin, Mason, Madsen and C.J. Pena. The well-traveled C.J. Pena, I might add. Here's Ashton-Langford. Madsen, backdoor cut. Look at McLaughlin, and Kidd slapped it off the glass. Great play by Lynn Kidd on what looked like an easy basket. Look at Mutz. 13 for Mutz. Hokies to within single digits for the first time in a while. Kelly to answer, and does. Big three by Kelly.
Wow, Wes, the Eagles have had an answer every time the Hokies have made a run at them.
Yep. Huge play by Kelly. He's got 4 threes in the ball game. Kick out and a triple no from Camden. $13 tonight for Kelly.
Well, you say he's got 4 threes, Wes. That is twice as many as he has had in 10 previous ACC games.
And the ball thrown away on an entry pass by McLaughlin. Here's Padula leading the break all the way to the glass, and we're going to get a foul, and it's on Madsen. That'll get us to a timeout. Hokie free throws when we come back to Blacksburg. BC by 11.
Well, Wes, this is a guy who came in shooting 2 for 16 from beyond the arc in ACC play, but he's 4 for 6 tonight. And Boston College has really built this lead offensively on the strength of their threes. They've made 10 threes as a team, Wes, and 5 different guys have made one.
Yep, you got to look at Kelly's numbers. 25 bench points tonight that he's a big part of. And BC's got double-figure threes in back-to-back games for the first time since December of 2019.
Boy, that's an amazing number. And Wes, keep in mind that Kelly is getting all these minutes tonight because of the unfortunate injury to Jaden Zachary.
Right. It was interesting, though, to talk to Earl Grant today about holding Quinten Post and that being a silver lining for, like, you know, a League Bay and Pena and guys like that. Maybe Chaz Kelly also benefits a little bit from having played in big games. Like he played a lot at Duke. He played, you know, in the MTE they played. He played a big night at Nebraska on the road, right? I mean, somewhere in there the payoff may be happening, and maybe tonight it's in Blacksburg.
Well, Wes, Earl Grant told us that the way Kelly's developing, he may be their best point guard right now.
Yeah.
Nothing that he's done tonight would refute that.
Nope. 10-point game again. Padula hit both free throws. Here is Post. Remember with the 3 fouls. He'll turn on Kidd, draw Lynn Kidd's foul. You know, Dan, Quinten Post, he's talented, but he's also pretty smart too.
Well, there's no question. But look here. The side is completely cleared for him. Hunter Couture drops down there very shortly. But we've seen in this game what happens when they double team him. He does a great job passing out of the double team.
16 for Post, make it 17. So he hits his second free throw, missed his first 3. He's now hit 2 in a row. Basile is back. And the second one good. First points in the second half, 18 now in the ball game for Post. 12-point game again.
And Ashton-Langford and Kelly have just done a tremendous job pressuring the ball in the hands of either Padula or Couture.
Basile against Pena, and C.J. Pena gets called for his first. And it's 7 now on Boston College with 10:22 to go.
And that's where Boston College defense has had a little bit of a problem tonight, trying to defend, particularly Basile driving into the lane.
The League Bay comes in. Pena is out. And the first of the 1-and-1 falls off the rim for Basile.
Boy, needing every single point you can get, Wes. You're missing the front end of a 1-and-1. I mean, we're down to 10 minutes left in this game.
Yep, it's 12 points. Hokies have not come with the flurry. A League Bay threw that high and away from Post. Even a 7-footer couldn't make the catch of that bullet. So that's turned over by Boston College.
Well, Wes, lots of times the Hokies' flurries is built on the back of Couture and Padula making threes, and that just hasn't been part of the equation tonight.
8th turnover for BC, under 10 to go. Virginia Tech's won 3 of their last 4. The only loss in there is a hard-fought ball game at Miami last week, and there's a turnover by Virginia Tech. That's their 5th of the night.
And again, Langford did a great job preventing Hunter Couture for having anything open, like a look at a 3.
Post thought about the 3. Basile handles the. Now they'll rescreen it. Here's Post out front against Mutz. Thought about it. 7 to shoot. Oh, Nookie faked the pass, then Mutz went for the foul. And it'll be the 2nd on Mutz and the 4th on Virginia Tech.
So Wes, he's not just smart, he's clever. You know, he fakes the pass, calls for the screen, and then just drives to the basket.
Post. Can you give Mutz 2 fouls? He got me the first time, then threw me another one. 4th on Virginia Tech. Here's Madsen. Jump stops in traffic, and then almost turned it over. Got it back, wrestling for it. Now here's a league bang. Good heavens.
Boy, Mutz got hit in the arm.
Kelly trying to set up a screen. A league bay, a 3 is good. Prince Aligbe, it's his 9th 3 of the year. It's his first point of the night, and they're handing out coupons on the BC bench for him now. 11 of 20 tonight are the Eagles from behind the line. And Basile missed the layup, got it back and scored.
That's good battle by Basile, Wes, but it's hard to come back in the game when you're scoring 2 and the other guys are scoring 3.
He's got 20 for the 4th time in ACC play. 63 to 50. Boston College with 8.5 and counting. Entry for Post. Left hand scores against Basile.
Again, there's no help coming.
20 for Post, Dan, for the 4th time in the last 5 games.
Wes, and he got about as close as you can get in terms of securing position down on the inside.
Here's Padula. Kick out for Basile. And Madsen goes high to pull it away.
Well, Wes, when Basile's shooting it from out there, there's only one person in to rebound.
Ashton-Langford. Here's a league bay, feeling it. Back rim, Post the rebound, stolen from behind. Nice play, Hunter Couture. 7.5 to go.
Well, Wes, they're down 15. It's time to get rolling.
Basile starts the train with a 3. Hokies have hit 6 threes in 21 tries, but they trail a dozen. Timeout in Blacksburg, 7.5 to go. Prince Aligbe wants one. And then you know what? Back inside to Quinten Post, who's got another 20-point night. Footers and 3-point field goal percentage. I love it. 23 threes. Well, he's made 3 tonight. He's unbelievable. He is, and we talked about Jordan Miller in Miami on Saturday. This is another undervalued guy in the ACC people don't talk about.
Well, without question, Wes, and one of the reasons they've made so many threes is his ability to pass the ball.
Absolutely.
So, and you know, he made 3 threes early, and then they started double teaming, and then he started passing the ball out. So they've stopped double teaming, so now he's scoring under the basket.
Drop the screen, kick in the corner, Aligbe a 3. Wow, 6 for Prince Aligbe on pair of triples here in half 2, and the lead is right back to 15.
Wes, some teams just match up really well with other teams, and you get the idea that Boston College just matches up really well with the Hokies.
Foul on Ashton-Langford, free throws for Couture. When we come back to, by the way, everybody either has 6 or 7 left to go. Couture to the line, first of 2 after the foul on Ashton-Langford got us to the timeout. First free throws of the night for the Orlando senior. Hunter now with 7. And the second one also drops in, so he's got 8. Padula put a little backcourt pressure on Ashton-Langford. And now here's BC again. Feels like they might try and change the tempo of it a little bit. Virginia Tech wants to speed up. Eagles try and drop it down in the gearbox a little bit.
I don't know if I was BC, I'd drop it down in the gearbox. They have been so successful tonight. Just keep rolling.
What a pass. Ashton-Langford. Post had it blocked out of bounds with 1.8 on the shot clock. And Earl Grant wanted a foul in front of A.J. Desai and didn't get it. 5 blocks tonight for the Hokies, just 1 for BC. 1.8 left on the clock. Lob, post, catch, score. Bonner ran that one back in Western PA.
Wow.
22 for Quinten Post. 70-55. Basile catch and shoot. Sure. Tell you what, Basile now has had 3 threes in the second half, and he has now got 26 in the ball game. Ashton-Langford again against some pressure from Padula. Into the corner, Aligbe tees up another one. Mutts the rebound. We go inside of 6 minutes to play.
Well, Wes, there's still plenty of time.
Here's Padula. Skip for Mutts. Left corner, Couture. And Post collects.
Wes, there's plenty of time, but when you get shots like that, you've got to make them. You're in a situation where you've got to make up a pretty big deficit.
Madsen, now McLaughlin. Here again, the ball screen stuff. Aligbe thought about it. Into traffic against Kidd. Shoots over the big man and missed everything. Out of bounds. Now Earl Grant thought that was deflected, but with 5:19 to go, it'll belong to Virginia Tech, down 12.
Well, and again, they didn't score that time, Boston College, but it was after a Virginia Tech team didn't score. So if you're going to trade the baskets, that helps you, and if you trade stops, that helps you.
Yep.
Whatever you can do to keep Virginia Tech from cutting into that lead.
12-point game. Here is Kidd. Padula sets. Off the mark, Quinten Post. And here's Ashton-Langford trying to create an advantage.
Well, that was really good defense by Kelly. That was a tough shot by Padula.
Post had it knocked away. Mutts fighting for it. Back for Kelly. Madsen trying to get baseline. Kidd shut that down.
I don't think he was throwing it to
No, he was
Post.
trying to get to Ashton-Langford with 7 to shoot. Aligbe a shot fake all the way to the basket, up off the rim, and couldn't finish.
Now Virginia Tech needs a basket, Wes.
Yeah. 4.5 to play. Padula spinning a whirling dervish, and Kelly blocked it out of bounds.
Wes, we had a situation early in the half for Virginia Tech where they were scoring consistently, but they couldn't cut into the lead because they couldn't get any stops. Now they're getting stops, but they can't score.
Yeah, and here comes Devin McLaughlin back for Boston College. He will replace Mason Madsen.
Well, they're a little bit bigger because Virginia Tech is a little bit bigger. Kidd, Mutts, and Basile in the game at the same time.
Boy, Ashton-Langford caught an inadvertent elbow. There's a 3, and pulled away by McLaughlin, and Basile going to commit the foul. It'll be his 3rd. That is 5 on the Hokies. Boy, Ashton-Langford took one right across the face.
And what did he do, Wes? He popped right back up.
Yep.
You know, he's rubbing his chin, but he popped right back up. You know, he sort of ran into that one. It wasn't really a swinging elbow, but he popped right back up. And there's Couture with a wide open shot.
Yep. Kelly working out.
That's really a nice job by Kelly, not to be flustered.
Ashton-Langford, a pull-up jumper. Spins off. Look at the tap. Twice by Post. And a timeout is taken. Quinten Post has now got 24 in the ball game. Lead is 14. And the big man from Amsterdam is trying to take the Eagles to their 2nd road win of the year in the ACC. They won at Notre Dame back in January.
Wes, and keep in mind that the Eagles beat the Hokies the last time without Post.
Yeah.
And this time they're winning the game even though Jaden Zachary got hurt and had to leave.
Yeah.
But of course, because Zachary had to leave, Chaz Kelly came in, and Kelly has 13 points and has done an outstanding defensive job against Sean Padula.
And he's got a career high, does Kelly, the freshman from Houston.
Yeah, Makai Ashton-Langford and Kelly, I think, have been outstanding defensively against Padula and Couture.
Basile lost it on the dribble, forced it up, spins off, and the rebound is pulled away by a league bay.
And Wes, that is, you know, if you look it up in the dictionary, that might be the definition of a tough shot right there.
Well, if it finishes at its current rate, Virginia Tech will see Boston College shoot 50% or better from the floor for just the 4th time this year, Dan.
Well, and if it finishes this way, it'll be the 5th straight loss for the Hokies against Boston College. How weird is that?
It is. Ashton-Langford, a 3 from the moon, and that missed everything. Well, don't forget a doubleheader of women's basketball for you tomorrow night on ACC Network. We'll get you started with number 10 Notre Dame welcoming Pittsburgh to Purcell Pavilion, then off to Winston-Salem for NC State's visit. 8 o'clock tip time in Winston. Thursday night, ACC women's basketball presented by Ally on ACCN and streaming on the app so you can watch it anywhere.
Wes, we talked early about the fact when BC missed a bunch of threes that really wasn't the strength of BC's game. Padula knocks down a 3, but boy, it has been a strength of BC's game. Wes, and what did they miss? Their first 6 3-point shots or something like that?
Yep.
And you think, okay, the strategy to let them shoot the 3 might be pretty good. But then they started knocking them down, and when Virginia Tech pushed out to defend the 3, they started throwing it inside. It has been a very impressive offensive performance by Boston College. But again, I'll say I think their defense has been even more impressive, particularly the defense against Padula and Couture.
Eagles started 2 of 7 from 3, which makes them 6 of their last 19. If you figure out that they are 8 of 26 tonight, and there is Kelly, a layup, and they broke the pressure easily. What a night for Chaz Kelly III out of Cy Creek High School in Houston and the Phelps School in Pennsylvania. He has played really well tonight for Earl Grant. And Post gathers another rebound. And here is a league bay into the front court with 2:10 to play, and the lead is 13 again.
Well, now you can afford to take your time, Wes.
And Padula trying to stay in front of Ashton-Langford with 8 to shoot. Makai for Kelly, there's a 3. And Post took the rebound away from behind Collins. He's now got a double-double tonight, does Quinten Post.
And he just throws it back outside, and they hold it to take another 20.
Second in the ACC, had one in their road win at Notre Dame. And with 98 seconds left, here is Mutz. Whoa! Wow. He didn't make the dunk, but he gets high marks on the attempt. My heavens. 4th on Post.
Boy,
9th
Wes,
on Boston College.
He took off from the C of the ACC, and he had the ball way up in the air.
You know, in ACC history, one night at University Hall in a non-televised game, Gene Banks dunked the ball between the head and right shoulder of Ralph Sampson. And I'm not saying that was in the ballpark, but it had been on the list, right?
Well, Wes, it would have been, but what it's like is a long drive foul in baseball. It's just allowed, and he only gets 1 point out of it.
No question, but my heavens.
But it was impressive. I agree with you.
And Post will take a timeout. Quick double team by the Hokies. It is a 12-point lead for BC, trying to get this one to the house tonight at Castle College. Well, you see the story. 94 seconds left to go. Boston College leads Virginia Tech by 12 here in Blacksburg tonight. And Dan, it's since a kind of a wobbly start by Earl Grant's team, they have been the better team tonight.
Without any question, Wes, and that wobbly start didn't bother them. They just kept playing, and that's what we've seen from Boston College, Wes. They are a gritty bunch of guys, and they just keep coming at you.
So backcourt pressure now applied by the Hokies. You see Mutzel defend the inbounds pass of a League Bay. And there is Madsen on the catch, and he'll slide into the front court. There's a double team, and what do we have? A foul called, I believe, on Hunter Couture. It'll be his 6th or 16th foul against Virginia Tech. Boston College has got 27 bench points tonight, and Chaz Kelly's got a career high off that bench, a League Bay. He started, he threw in a couple threes here in the second half. Madsen tried to get it to Post. It got deflected and out of bounds. And Earl Grant, there's the look. He's got NC State at Conte Forum on Saturday. At Pitt, at Florida State, at Wake to finish the drill. Goodness heavens. There's a skip pass. What a catch by Post. Came down with it, reversed it back up, and it fell off the rim. 77 seconds left. Hokies got to get busy. Mutz on the drive, wouldn't go, rebounded Basile. 10th field goal of the night for Grant Basile. He's got 28. His season high was against Delaware State early in the year when he had 30. His career high 37 against Marshall when he was at Wright State.
Well, Wes, even in that situation, it was a fast break situation, Boston College got back on defense, and Virginia Tech had to work very hard to get that basket.
Yep.
And I think that pretty much sums up the BC defense. After that early quick start by the Hokies, BC has made them work very hard for everything.
Yep. Well, Mike Young's team, who beat Virginia here on Saturday, and now all of a sudden this tonight is going to have them a little reeling. But Dan, the final loop here, nothing easy about any of these next five for sure. Georgia Tech, by the way, leading Notre Dame tonight in Atlanta. And now they're tied in the final half minute at McCamish Pavilion. But you see Miami, my heavens, the Canes Monday night, Dan, what a show that was, huh?
Well, Miami is playing as well as anybody right at the moment. You know, the Hurricanes had some problems finishing games on the road earlier, but they seem to have overcome those woes.
Yep. So it's a 10-point game with 70 seconds left. And Kelly will go to the inline to put it in play against Lynn Kidd. A.J. Desai telling both schools you can run the inline here. And here is Ashton-Langford, and a quick foul by Kidd, I believe. And that'll send Ashton-Langford to the line. And as we are apt to say, on the 7th against the Hokies, from here on, we'll see some free throws. We won't see as many free throws as we saw last night in Winston-Salem.
Oh, good heavens.
But we will see some free throws. And if you don't know about Wake Forest and the win against North Carolina, Tyree Appleby of the Deacons set an ACC record last night for free throw attempts and free throw makes. And when I tell you the names of the people he broke in terms of free throws attempted, record that was held by Ronnie Shavlik of NC State from 1955 and Dickie Hemrick of Wake Forest also in 1955. He had 23 makes, which broke Grady Wallace of South Carolina and York Larisi of North Carolina's records. Grady Wallace played at South Carolina in 1957. Basile knocks down a three and grabs his elbow. It is a 9-point game under a minute to go. Inbounds Ashton-Langford, lost it. Here's Basile, and the layup good. 33 for Basile on his 12th field goal. And Ashton-Langford fouled by Padula. 8th foul on Virginia Tech, so 1-1 down here to our right. And Basile was grabbing his right elbow, Dan, after the three.
He's still massaging that elbow.
Yeah.
Well, but if he can make a three, it can't be but so bad, right?
That's kind of what I was thinking. So here is Ashton-Langford. Makai 1-1. 2 for 2 at the line tonight. Free throw good.
Well, Wes, what you're in a situation right now, and I don't think you have enough time to do it, you're trying to trade. You give them the one-on-one, so they get 2. You have to come down and get 3. That's the only way this works.
Yep. And it will be a 9-point game. 78-69. Here's Devin McLaughlin in for Ashton-Langford. On the drive, Padula. Layup rolls in.
And that doesn't really hurt you if you're Boston College. You need to defend the 3.
McLaughlin, the layup in transition. 9.5, 14 in the game for Devin McLaughlin. Padula pull-up 3, sure. 38 seconds on the clock. And last touch by Virginia Tech on the inbounds.
Well, it's a 6-point game.
37 seconds left.
Timeout BC.
And Virginia Tech is asking the review here of the inbounds pass. So hold the phone here now. Earl Grant is taking the timeout.
Well, if they're going to review it, they may not give him the timeout unless he wants it. In other words, if they're going to review, he might just go ahead and talk to his team. Because you don't have to take a timeout to get the officials to review. In the last 2 minutes, the officials review those contested, well, they can review any out-of-bounds play.
Right.
Used to be it had to be a contested one, but now you can look to see if there was only one guy and he had his foot on the line or something. But the question is, who touches this last?
On the floor, it's awarded to Boston College. There's Kelly. He had it. And looks like...
Well, it looks like Padula knocked it out of his hand.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Here now. How about, oh, yeah.
Well, Padula slashed down at the ball, and I think he was hoping to drive the ball down so it would go off the leg, but that looked to me like it just went straight out of bounds.
Tell you what, the folks here at Virginia Tech providing a couple of nice overhead looks. One from the basket support, and then one from that the officiating crew's not often given access to. And you see.
Well, there you go. You get the overhead look to look at the officials.
Yeah, we got an overhead look to look at officials looking at the overhead. Full service for you tonight on the network. And A.J. Desai talking to Keith Kimball while Clarence Armstrong looks again, Dan.
And Wes, the important point that you made was that the officials awarded it to Boston College, so they have to find something definitive. They have to find something indisputable there.
That's it. Indisputable video evidence. So 37 seconds left in a 6-point game.
And I think what the officials are looking at now is they're trying to determine the time.
That's it.
That's why you see Clarence Armstrong trying to expand the screen and look at the shot clock.
Yep. Boston College, by the way, Dan, we talked about all these things tonight. 24 assists on 29 field goals tonight.
Oh. Wes, this is a team that's not noted as a really efficient offensive team, but they have been very efficient tonight. Earl Grant wants them to decide that there's 3 seconds left in the game.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And shot clock is at 29.
Well, Wes, remember, the clock doesn't stop until the ball's out of bounds.
Right.
And the ball's not out of bounds until it touches something out of bounds. And in this case, it touched the floor.
Okay. So Lynn Kidd, they're trying to get Lynn Kidd into the game. And because the ball was put in play after the made basket, and now they're a review and not a timeout, Dan, they can't put the sub in, correct?
Well, they did put a sub in. They put Camden in, and what they were trying to do was try to take Camden out. And you can't put Camden in and take Camden out until some time runs off the clock.
Thank you. So Camden is going to stay in the game.
Boy, this is taking a while.
Yeah, a lot going on here.
Well, now Camden's coming in the game. Okay, well, I have no idea. You know, I thought Kidd was in the game, wasn't he?
Here's Kelly to put it in play. And does to Post. And there's a quick foul with 36.5 left, so only 1.4 came off the clock. And Quinten Post is going to go back to the line. Well, Georgia Tech beat Notre Dame tonight in Atlanta, 70-68. Remember, the first meeting went to overtime. And the game tonight in Atlanta.
Wes, that's what was going on. There was just some confusion at the scores table. Kidd was in the game.
Right.
And they tried to put Camden in, and then it got all confused over there.
Yep.
So Kidd was in the game, so he could stay in the game. They wanted to put Camden in. That's what the officials ruled they couldn't do. Oh!
Post had it rattle out. 6-point game, 33 seconds left. Basile missed it. Aligbe had it, lost it. They battled for it. Ashton-Langford couldn't handle it. With 26.9 left, it stays with Virginia Tech.
Well, you know, if you can get Basile an open three, that's what you want.
Yep.
And that's why they were trying to put Camden in the game, because he's a three-point shooter and Kidd isn't.
That's it. Inbounds Couture, back for Padula. Steps into one. Air ball, and Mutz touched it last. It'll belong to
and they're gonna
Boston
review this.
College. So Keith Kimball called it off Virginia Tech, awarded it to BC, and then spins his finger to indicate the review.
Well, again, Wes, in the last 2 minutes of a game, the officials have the option of doing that, and you almost never see them refuse to review that play.
By the way, the Georgia Tech Notre Dame game decided on a Lance Terry follow-up of a Kyle Sturdivant missed jump shot.
Wow. That's a tough contested three. Ooh. Well, the question is, did it touch Mutz on the way out? Because it looks like this, that hits Post in the shoulder, and did it ever touch Mutz?
So you see you're getting a really good look at the monitor tonight and the array of angles.
Well, it's a good thing they have.
But
I wouldn't be able to handle all those little boxes. But now watch, the ball is going to hit Post in the shoulder, hit him in the right shoulder and bounce off. And the question is, did it ever hit Mutz? Did it hit Mutz in the face? Did it hit Mutz in the shoulder? I don't think Mutz got a hand on it.
I don't know that the ball hit Mutz.
Yeah, but I don't know that there's enough there to change the call.
That's a good point, too. They just did.
Okay. Well, they had. Boy, there's a good look at it, Wes. You can see the ball bounce off of Post, and it never does touch Mutz. It misses his face, it misses his shoulder.
Right. Earl Grant knows the game is on now, Dan, with 21.4 left.
Well, again, you only have to defend the three now, and Virginia Tech has taken a couple of contested threes. Boston College. So they put more time on the clock, 21.8.
Yep.
Which means now the shot clock is in play again because it's 20 seconds.
Padula lobbing for Mutz.
Gotta
Post
get a
is
three.
there. He's playing with 4 fouls. Mutz draws Post's 5th foul. And that'll be 5 on Quinten Post. Terrific night. He fouls out with 24 points, 10 rebounds. His second double-double of the year against the ACC.
Well, Wes, he really contests this hard, and what he does a good job of is he makes sure on the foul that Mutz can't get it up to the basket and get the old-fashioned three-point play. So you'd rather he not foul, but if he's going to foul, force the guy to go to the free throw line.
Second time Post is fouled out of a game this year. And it happens with 18.6 left. And Mutz is going to go to the line where he is 4 for 7. Syracuse a winner tonight in Tallahassee, 76-67.
You know, Syracuse is an odd team.
They got 26 tonight from Joe Girard, 16 from Judah Mintz, and 18 and 12 from Jesse Edwards.
Well, they're not an odd team when they do that. They're pretty good.
Here's Mutz at the line. First one is good. Fairly dramatic as it bounces around and drops in.
Well, Wes, even if he makes this, it's still a 4-point game.
Yep.
And so now Camden comes out and Kidd comes back in. You got to foul immediately if you don't get a steal.
21-10 run for Virginia Tech to cut it to 4.
Great pass.
Right back to Kelly. Chaz Kelly fouled by Padula in the backcourt, his 4th. Or 5 rather. That is 5 on Padula. So Sean Padula is going to foul out with 14.6 left. And
Wes, this is just an outstanding pass by Aligbe. Aligbe shoots under 70% from the free throw line in conference play, but he gets rid of the ball immediately. And then Padula, he's got those 4 fouls, so he doesn't want to commit the 5th foul.
Yep. Double bonus here, by the way, for Boston College, so 2 free throws coming for Kelly.
So that really hurts Virginia Tech on a couple of levels. And one, Padula hasn't been tonight, but he's one of your best three-point shooters. And the 3 is the only thing that's going to bail you out now if you can get enough of them.
Yep.
And I'm just not sure you have enough time.
So here is Kelly to shoot 2. The freshman from Houston has had a career night. And that pushes it to a 4-point game, 5-point game, Dan. So 2 possessions with 14.6 left.
Wes, he's 2 for 3 from the line tonight. Coming in conference play, he was 0 for 1. So he hadn't been there that often because he hadn't played that much.
Well, don't act like the rest of the regular season wasn't a sidebar either. It was 2 for 4 on the year, right? Boy, playing with a ton of confidence tonight, isn't he?
Wow.
Inbounds with 14 seconds left. Hokies got to get it and go.
Well, it's a nice job to put pressure.
Basile, a long 3. Kidd got the rebound back to Basile, and that will bound away, and so will the Hokies' hopes tonight, as Boston College has come to Blacksburg and upset Virginia Tech 82-76, Dan.
And it's an extremely impressive performance.